Welcome back to the channel.
Right.
Today, we're going to be looking at SoFi's Q3 performance.
Okay.
We've got their investor presentation and the earnings call transcript.
Perfect.
And yeah, you're going to want to stick around for this
Yeah.
because they posted some really strong growth numbers.
They did.
And this is despite, some recent economic headwinds.
So it seems like SoFi didn't just have a good quarter. They had their strongest quarter ever.
Wow.
I mean, they really blew past their projections for 2024.
That's impressive.
And they're looking to be right on track to meet that ambitious 3-year plan they've laid out.
Okay, so let's look at the numbers.
Right.
They brought in $689 million in adjusted net revenue,
Wow.
which is a 30% jump compared to Q3 of last year.
Big jump.
For context, their growth in Q2 was 22%.
I see.
So this is a significant acceleration.
Yeah, and a big part of that growth is coming from their financial services segment.
Okay.
They just hit a major milestone.
What's that?
It's now a $1 billion
Wow.
annual revenue business.
That's huge.
Yeah, so that's 102% growth year over year.
So financial services is responsible for over a third of their total revenue now.
Yep.
Which is pretty incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
They launched this segment right as the economy, started to get a little rocky.
Yeah, launching during a turbulent market.
Yeah.
It's risky, but their success shows just how much potential this segment has.
Yeah, it seems like they're really trying to shift gears a bit,
Yeah.
moving away from lending
Uh-huh.
and towards, revenue streams that require less capital upfront
Right.
and rely more on fees.
You're exactly right. Their non-lending segments are growing like crazy.
Which was those again?
That would be financial services and their tech platform.
Okay.
Together, they saw a 64% increase in revenue year over year.
So those non-lending segments,
Yep.
they now represent almost half of SoFi's total revenue,
Almost half.
49% to be exact.
Wow, and that's up from 39% a year ago,
That diversification is key.
especially in uncertain times.
Yeah, for sure.
And all this growth, it's not happening in a vacuum.
Right.
SoFi is attracting a ton of new members and rolling out new products at an impressive rate.
Okay, so let's talk about those numbers.
Sure.
They added 756,000 new members just last quarter,
A lot in
bringing their total to 9.4 million.
That's a lot of members.
On top of that, they introduced over 1 million new products,
Wow.
pushing that total to 13.7 million.
Their one-stop shop approach seems to be working.
How so?
Well, 32% of those new products were adopted by existing SoFi members.
Okay, so people are buying into the SoFi ecosystem
Exactly, and they're sticking around.
and trying out the other products and services?
Exactly. It's a classic flywheel effect.
Okay.
Satisfied customers lead to more customers, which fuels even more growth.
So it's not just about member and product growth.
Right.
Their loan platform business is also exceeding expectations.
It is.
They pulled in $56 million in fee-based revenue from that platform alone.
That's incredible.
That's over 5 times what they were making a year ago.
5.
And their interchange revenue also doubled year over year.
It seems like SoFi is really hitting their stride with this transition to a more sustainable revenue model.
One that's less reliant on lending
Exactly.
and more focused on these diversified income streams.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's important to remember
Yeah.
that SoFi has achieved all of this despite facing some pretty serious economic headwinds these last few years.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a recession,
Right.
a pandemic,
Yeah.
fluctuating interest rates,
Right.
and a big impact on their core student loan business.
It hasn't been an easy ride.
No, it hasn't.
And yet they've still managed to maintain this impressive growth.
They have.
Over 20% year-over-year revenue growth
That's amazing.
for 17 consecutive quarters,
17 quarters in a row.
which is really remarkable.
It is, given everything that's happened.
And we can't forget about their member and product growth,
Yeah.
which has consistently exceeded 35% year-over-year.
Consistent.
This really shows their ability to adapt and thrive in a volatile market.
It does.
So what does this tell us about SoFi's future?
Well, if we look at the economic forecast for 2025, things are looking up.
How so?
Well, interest rates are expected to decline,
Okay.
and the economy is projected to stabilize.
So those are both favorable conditions for a company like SoFi.
Definitely. Their diversified business model, their huge member base, and their extensive product range all put them in a strong position to capitalize on those positive trends.
They're also working hard to build their brand
Uh-huh.
and stay ahead of the curve when it comes to innovation.
Right. Their unaided brand awareness has hit an all-time high of 7%,
Wow.
which is almost a 40% jump from last year.
So their marketing campaigns have been effective,
Very effective.
like that NFL season kickoff at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, that was a big one.
And their partnerships with athletes like Justin Herbert,
Right.
Cameron Brink, and Venus Williams.
Those are all smart partnerships.
And then they've got that upcoming partnership with TGL.
Yeah, the new tech-infused golf league.
So they're tapping into a new audience there.
Exactly.
And they're not just relying on marketing.
Right.
They're putting a lot of effort into developing innovative products as well.
So Fi Invest is a prime example.
Tell me more about that.
They're giving everyday investors access to investment opportunities that were traditionally only available to the ultra-wealthy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a move that aligns with their overall mission of making sophisticated financial tools accessible to everyone.
Okay, so let's get into some of the specific financial highlights from their Q3 performance.
Sounds good.
Their financial services segment brought in $238.3 million in revenue.
Okay.
That's that 102% year-over-year growth we were talking about earlier.
Incredible growth.
Their tech platform also contributed significantly, generating $102.5 million in revenue,
Okay.
a 14% increase year-over-year.
Solid growth.
Their total loan volume reached a record $6.3 billion.
Wow, a new record.
And their adjusted net revenue from lending hit $392 million,
Okay.
a 14% rise compared to last year.
Consistent growth.
Now let's talk about that fee-based revenue.
Right.
It totaled $174 million in Q3.
Okay.
That's a 65% surge year-over-year.
A big jump.
And it now represents 25% of their adjusted net revenue.
That's a significant portion.
Their revenue per product also saw a big jump,
Oh, yeah.
reaching $81.
Okay.
That's a 52% increase from the $53 they were averaging a year ago.
Those are strong numbers.
So at the end of Q3,
Yeah.
they had 9.4 million members
Okay.
and 13.7 million products.
So Fi is really firing on all cylinders.
It seems like they're not just surviving in this tough economic environment.
No, they're thriving.
They're coming out of this period stronger and more diverse than ever before.
Absolutely.
Their Q3 performance really shows that they're on track to achieve their long-term goals
It does.
and become a major player in the financial services industry.
I think they're well on their way.
Now let's dig a little deeper into their investor presentation and see what other insights we can uncover.
Right, let's do it. Yeah, one thing that really stands out in the presentation is their focus on financial literacy.
Okay.
They seem really committed to empowering their members to make informed financial decisions.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
They've got a whole team of certified financial planners who can provide personalized guidance.
Okay.
And they've got all these educational resources and tools to help people boost their financial knowledge.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, by helping people better understand their finances,
Right.
they're building trust and loyalty.
Yeah. It's a smart approach for sure.
The presentation also highlights their focus on responsible lending practices.
Okay.
They're very transparent about their credit performance.
In what way?
They provide a detailed analysis of their net cumulative losses by loan vintage.
Can you explain what net cumulative losses means?
Sure, it basically refers to the total amount of money a lender expects to lose on a group of loans over their lifetime. So, SoFi's analysis shows that they're managing risk effectively.
Yeah.
Even with those credit cuts they implemented back in late 2022.
Right.
Their more recent loan vintages are performing as well as or better than older vintages.
So that's a positive sign?
Definitely.
They're being cautious but not letting it hinder their growth?
Exactly. They're finding that sweet spot between responsible lending and expanding their portfolio.
Makes sense.
The presentation also dives into their balance sheet and capital ratios.
Okay.
They ended Q3 with a total capital ratio above 16%.
And what does that tell us?
Well, it exceeds regulatory requirements,
Okay.
which shows that they're in a strong financial position.
Good news for investors.
Right, and for members, too.
It shows they're well capitalized and prepared for any potential challenges.
Exactly, and it gives them more flexibility to pursue those strategic initiatives
Right.
and invest in future growth.
Okay, so now let's turn our attention to the earnings call transcript.
Sounds good.
I always find it interesting to hear what the CEO and CFO have to say in these calls.
Me too.
You can get a real sense of their priorities and overall strategy.
Definitely.
So Anthony Noto, SoFi's CEO, kicked off the call by expressing his excitement about their record-breaking Q3 results.
Of course he did.
And he attributed this success to three key factors:
Okay, what are those?
durable growth, innovative products, and strong brand building.
Sounds like a recipe for success.
He specifically called out the financial services segment as a major growth engine for the company.
Which makes sense.
It's their fastest growing segment.
Right.
and it now represents over a third of their revenue.
Noto was particularly proud of how they've managed to scale this segment in just 5 years.
It's pretty remarkable.
They built a billion-dollar business from scratch
Wow.
in a tough economic environment.
That's a testament to their vision and execution, for sure.
Noto also emphasized their commitment to that shift towards a more capital-light, fee-based revenue model.
Which we've already seen happening.
Yeah, it seems like a key part of their long-term strategy.
Noto believes that this shift will enable them to achieve sustainable profitability
Okay.
and drive consistent growth, regardless of what the economy throws at them.
Smart approach.
Yeah, they're diversifying their revenue streams and reducing their reliance on these volatile markets.
Exactly.
So Noto expressed confidence that SoFi is on track to achieve their goal of becoming a top 10 financial institution.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but their recent performance suggests it might not be that far-fetched.
True. They're seeing strong growth across all their key metrics.
Members' products,
Yeah.
revenue profitability.
Exactly, and they're operating in a market that's ripe for disruption.
Plus, they have a proven track record of adapting to changing conditions.
And innovating quickly?
During the earnings
Yeah.
call, Noto also talked about the importance of building brand awareness.
Right, their recent marketing efforts?
Yeah, those partnerships with athletes and those high-profile events.
They've really boosted their visibility.
Their unaided brand awareness has jumped almost 40% year over year.
That's impressive.
And they're not slowing down.
No, they've got that upcoming partnership with TGL.
The new tech-infused golf league.
Right, that's another strategic move to reach a new audience and further strengthen their brand.
So they're playing the long game when it comes to brand building.
Definitely, they're not just looking for short-term wins.
Right.
They're building a brand that will resonate with consumers for years to come.
Noto also highlighted SoFi's commitment to continuous product innovation.
Yeah, they're always looking for ways to improve their existing products and develop new offerings to meet their customers' needs.
Okay, so SoFi's CFO, Chris Lapointe, also provided some valuable insights during the earnings call.
Right. He delved into the specifics of their Q3 financial performance, emphasizing their record revenue growth and improving profitability.
So he echoed Neto's confidence in SoFi's ability to navigate any potential economic headwinds in the coming year.
Yeah, he attributed their success to their disciplined approach to risk management
Okay.
and their commitment to maintaining a strong balance sheet.
So they're not just focused on growth.
Right.
They're also building a solid foundation for long-term sustainability.
Exactly.
The earnings call transcript really provides a lot of valuable context and insight into SoFi's Q3 performance and their strategic priorities.
It's clear they have a strong leadership team with a clear vision for the future. Okay, so let's look at some specific data points and examples from their Q3 performance to really illustrate their progress.
Okay, let's do it.
One great example is the explosive growth of their financial services segment.
Okay.
In Q3, they generated $238.3 million in revenue,
Wow.
a 102% increase year over year.
That's incredible. What drove all that growth?
Well, they introduced new products, expanded their member base, and saw increased engagement within SoFi Invest.
So they're really firing on all cylinders in that segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's look at their loan platform business.
Okay.
This segment generated $56 million in fee-based revenue during Q3.
Right.
That's more than 5 times what they were making a year ago.
Wow, that's a huge jump. What's behind that?
SoFi is doing a great job leveraging their technology and expertise to connect borrowers and lenders.
Right.
And they're generating significant revenue from those transactions.
That's a really smart strategy.
Yeah, it's definitely paying off. We should also talk about the growth in their interchange revenue.
Okay, yeah. Interchange revenue is the fee that merchants pay to banks and payment processors for processing credit card transactions, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And SoFi's interchange revenue doubled year over year,
Okay.
which means people are using their SoFi money and SoFi credit card products a lot more.
So that's a good sign for their overall engagement and customer loyalty.
Absolutely. It shows they're building a really sticky ecosystem
Okay.
where users are finding value in multiple SoFi products and services.
So to wrap things up, SoFi had an amazing Q3, exceeding expectations across the board. What were some of your key takeaways?
Well, it's clear that their strategic focus on things like diversification, innovation, and brand building is really paying off.
They're definitely proving that they can navigate challenging economic conditions and come out even stronger.
Exactly. They've emerged as a real force in the fintech industry.
Their commitment to providing a wide range of financial products, empowering their members, and continuously innovating puts them in a great position for the future.
It does. Their future looks bright. They have favorable economic conditions ahead and a solid growth strategy in place.
What do you think is the most exciting thing about what SoFi is doing?
I think it's how they're really shaking things up in the traditional financial industry. They're creating new opportunities for consumers and giving people more control over their finances.
Yeah, they're definitely a company to watch. SoFi's story is a testament to what can be achieved with a customer-centric approach and a commitment to using technology to make a real difference. What do you think the future holds for SoFi?
I think their journey is far from over. They have a ton of potential, and I'm excited to see what they accomplish in the years to come.
SoFi's Q3 performance was a clear indication of their strength and potential. They're a company that's not just surviving in a volatile market, they're thriving. And as they're setting a new standard for the financial services industry. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into SoFi's performance. I'm excited to see what they do next.
Me too.